Next is Senator Scott.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Kennedy, good to see you again. Thank you for being here before the committee. Yeah. One of the beauties of our country is we have foundational documents that point us in the right direction. I think it's the compass that shows us due north, true north. The Declaration of Independence mentions life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness as unalienable rights. You and I had a serious conversation about the importance of life, and I'm a pro-life Christian, as you know. And you said that you assured me that your deputies were going to be pro-life. Is that still the case?
I will implement President Trump's policies. I serve at his pleasure, but I share President Trump's view that every abortion is a tragedy.
Now, my question was, are you having deputies within your at HHS that will be pro-life?
As I said, I can tell you exactly what I'm going to do, so there's no mistake. I'm going to implement President Trump's policies. President Trump has told me he wants to end late-term abortion.
Are you hiring people who are pro-life at HHS?
Yes, I am.
Thank you. During the first Trump administration, HHS began investing in policies to support individuals living with sickle cell anemia. This has continued. A career staff person has dedicated time to coordinate sickle cell disease-related activities across HHS and other government agencies. Will you commit to continuing to have an individual serve in this coordinating role for sickle cell?
Yes, and I think I've worked on sickle cell for many, many years. I told you I have many friends who have sickle cell. Several of them, I've seen the suffering that they endure. 1 out of every 365 blacks in our country has sickle cell. There are now promising gene therapies. They're very, very expensive. But it's something that NIH should be enthusiastically supporting that kind of research.
Well, you answered my second question, so that's great, which was today you noticed the FDA gene therapies are really breakthrough evolutions in science that are really one-time cures. So you support the continuation of the research that makes that more available?
Absolutely, Senator.
Thank you. That's great news. This past fall, due to one facility making the majority of our IV drugs in the U.S., it was devastated by Hurricane Helene. Hospitals and healthcare facilities across the country faced IV shortages. Nephron Pharmaceuticals in Columbia, South Carolina, tried to shore up IV support in South Carolina hospitals by creating the Palmetto line in its facility to help make IVs for hospitals across the state. We must do more proactively to address the shortages and the shortage risks, as well as to provide and promote the production of medical products here in the U.S. If confirmed, how will you prioritize efforts to prevent and reduce drug shortages, including for essential medicines?
Including?
Essential medicines.
President Trump has told me it's his priority to bring essential medicine manufacturing back to this country. It's a national security threat, and so much of it has been exported abroad, and particularly to China. And it's a priority for him, so it's a priority for me as well.
Very good. Will you commit to fostering productive public-private partnerships that can provide the government with key information on pharmaceutical supply chains, help direct shortages, and improve the long-term security and resiliency of the U.S. drug supply?
Absolutely, Senator.
Thank you very much. And one of the things that we study, I had 2 opportunities to question you. Once yesterday at the Finance Committee, I opted, as opposed to seeing you twice, just to see you one time and spend my time doing some other things with that time. But I think it's important for us to recognize that we are in a critical place as a nation. We're so dependent on other countries for the essentials, from healthcare and beyond. And we ought to work on a strategy of resilience across this nation in all of the essential areas that we need to become less dependent on the rest of the world and more dependent on ourselves. And I hope that as your term at the HHS, you will spend a lot of time thinking through and all the layers and complexity that is under HHS, how we become more and more resilient as a nation.
That's absolutely critical for our national security and for our economy. And President Trump is doing that through HHS, but also, more importantly, through the Commerce Department, and meeting directly with pharmaceutical industry leaders to figure out what kind of incentives that they need to bring manufacturing home.
Perfect. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield back my 8 seconds.